Another guy who's been recently libeled, who they got caught libeling him, was Bob Dylan. That false allegations and accusations of sexual misconduct were outed as being so false as to be frivolous that the claim was even brought, and they're looking at potential fees against the people who did it. So from the get-go, that case did not make sense to me. And it's just part of the extortion racket that some people run. The kind of criminality that people like Michael Avenatti had tattooed on his forehead were these kind of folks. And Bob Dylan was falsely accused for those folks out there.
Yeah, but the unique thing about that case is that they brought suit, they withdrew their suit, apparently because it was so frivolous. But now Dylan is going after not the plaintiffs, but their lawyers for having had the audacity, the lack of ethics to bring a suit that they knew they should not have brought for the purposes of a shakedown. What state is this in, Robert?
I don't know. I thought it was New York, but I'm not certain of that.
And I mean, what are the in general, at large, it's a little more difficult to go after counsel to a party for a frivolous suit than the party itself. The Osundairo brothers are doing it. Oh, they're doing it to whatever happened to that, to Garagos and Justice Smollett's attorneys? They were suing them for defamation. But typically you got litigation privilege so you can make allegations in court. But what's the threshold to breach in court for a lawyer to be sued for damages for filing a frivolous suit?
A failure to research. So a complete failure to research facts and law. That typically, unless you have a good faith basis for changing the law. So but it's if you are really running an extortion racket, which is what the accusation here is, then that would be subject to sanctions. But in what it suggests, any finding of frivolity would suggest that they knew all along that there was no good basis to accuse them. That they just smeared him in the court of public opinion and thought the threat of such smearing would lead him to write a check, and it didn't. And so ultimately it may have backfired on him. There's a good number of people in this space, unfortunately, that operate that way. The extortion racket's been a big racket in L.A. going back to Fred Otash and others. So that it's the nature of the game.